When you're talking about saving lives, you need every tool at your disposal to make sure that we are saving more lives than we're losing. The importance of NET is, and the device is, it gives us a tremendous tool in our arsenal to save lives, literally, and then to help people reestablish what will be the remainder of their lives and give them control over their own destiny and their future.
NET was developed by Dr. Patterson back in the early 1970s in Hong Kong. She discovered that a small amount of stimulation to the head could change your brain's chemistry, and it could cause people who had been addicted for their lives on opium, could cause people to stop craving opium and then to successfully remain abstinent from opium. She extended that technology to include heroin and to include cocaine and a number of other drugs. What we've done is figured out how to automate her process so that a relatively untrained practitioner can use a device to, with a great deal of success, take people off of prescription drugs and illicit drugs, cocaine, opiates, methamphetamines, and others.
And so the precept of NET I was intrigued with, that as a treatment provider, that we could detox somebody non-medically, non-narcotic, non-invasive, because traditionally what we have done doesn't work. And I'm not here to knock the Suboxone or the methadone or things like that, but for me, there has to be an alternative. And so that this presented an alternative to the traditional narcotic detoxes that were out there.
All we ever saw was that a person would get treated and then relapse, get treated and then relapse, get treated. And then when I come to find out the national trend that most of everyone who was treated, 1.5% is the number that do not relapse within the first year. That is horrible, and that was pathetic. And so again, my excitement heightened when I found out that when we treated folks in Eastern Kentucky, we had about 74% that did not relapse within the first year.
What we see on a daily basis is people in a short period of time restored to a pre-addiction state where they can choose to stop taking drugs. And the evidence is, long-term, a large number of them do.
It's different. I mean, it makes you feel a lot better. I mean, you don't get the withdrawals. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about. That's the main thing you got to worry about. It's really good done. I mean, it works out for you, and it helps you get through it, through the hardest times, which is your first week or so, and withdrawals and all that. But
come to find out that once the box is hooked up, there's almost an aha moment for them. That something happens inside of them that makes them just breathe. And then the real miracle takes place. And it is a miracle because I know what it's like to go through detox. I've felt it and I've seen it. Traditionally, if we've got a guy that has the strength to cold turkey detox, I had to plant my sleeping bag under his bed, and we're cleaning up puke, and we're cleaning up diarrhea, and we're crying, and we're laughing, and we're praying. It's a real difficult situation.
I actually took a device to North Carolina, and I treated my dad, who was diagnosed with mesothelioma. He couldn't come off the morphine because of the severe withdrawal symptoms that accompanied it. So I took a device down there. I only had 3 days to do it. I took a vacation and went down, and we hooked him up to the device. Me and him, neither one slept for 2 days, but by the time we left, he was opiate free, and he got his life back. He's still opiate free today, and my mom is excited because she got her husband back, and I'm excited because I got my dad back.
A common misconception about NET is that it is shock therapy or aversion therapy. We use a 9-volt battery in this device. The level of sensation is very low. It's completely controlled by the individual. There is no aversion therapy. What we're literally doing is stimulating your brain to reproduce dopamine and serotonin and alter its structure. If an individual, a man or a woman, wish to be treated with NET and to participate in this clinical study, they can contact me at our website, or they can contact the principal investigator at Spalding University. We would treat either of them at Isaiah House in Willisburg, Kentucky. If people would like to investigate, there's a fair amount of information available on the web. You can go to our website, www.netdevice.net, netdevice.net. We also have a Facebook page at Facebook/NetRecovery. So our vision is not just that a device would be made available, it's that a system, a community-based infrastructure would develop that allows NET to be a tool inside of short-term residential care with long-term community involvement.
When I first heard about the NET device, I was sort of skeptical myself, but after experiencing, seeing 64 guys going through the treatment, I've come to believe that it does work. On the third day, they're usually out on the softball field playing softball or up in the gym playing full court basketball. So by all means, I think this is a miracle from God.
Where I've been doesn't have to be where I go. And that's the beauty of this device.
So somebody who is addicted to opiates, they have flat affect, they have a dead face around the eyes and the mouth. All of the muscles are lax. 6 days after NET, people's faces come alive. You can see in their face interaction. You can see them respond to smell. If you work in the drug world and someone stops cold turkey, 3 days later they are lying curled up in a corner. If someone stops cold turkey and uses NET, 3 days later they're throwing a football in the backyard and they're laughing. It is a very, very visible difference.